Before we dive in, if you're into real, raw, and emotional stories that uncover the messy truth about love, betrayal, and redemption, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss the twists in this one because sometimes DNA doesn't just change science, it shatters families. Subscribe now and let's get into the story. For 16 years, I believed I had the perfect life. My name's Ethan Rourke, and I'm a 45-year-old architect from Bend, Oregon. My wife, Camille, is a freelance writer. We have been married for over 20 years. We had 2 kids, Sienna, 16, and Caleb, 14. To anyone on the outside, we were the ideal family. Happy, stable, supportive. Camille and I rarely fought. She laughed at my bad jokes. I brought her coffee in bed every Sunday. We even went on date nights like newlyweds. I thought we were the kind of couple people envied until one random birthday gift shattered everything. It started with a harmless birthday present. Sienna's best friend gave her a DNA ancestry kit for her sweet 16. "We can see what regions we're from," she said, excited. It became a fun family activity. I ordered test kits for all of us to compare our heritage. It was meant to be a bonding experience. But when the results came back, my entire reality imploded. Sienna came into the kitchen holding her phone, her expression unreadable. "Dad, it says we're not related." I laughed it off at first. Probably a glitch. Then I checked my results. No shared DNA. I blinked, rechecked, still nothing. We tested again. Still no match. Meanwhile, Caleb's results came back. 50% me, 50% Camille. But Sienna? Biologically, she wasn't mine. That night, after the kids went to bed, I sat alone in the living room with the DNA results open on my laptop. I stared at them for almost an hour. There was no mistake, no glitch. The system even reconfirmed the results twice through reanalysis. Wasn't Sienna's biological father. Around 10 p.m., I heard Camille's slippers shuffle into the room behind me. She had her usual chamomile tea in hand, wearing that old Oregon State hoodie she always wore when she was cold. "Still up?" she asked casually. I didn't turn around. I just asked her flatly, "Do you know why the DNA test says Sienna isn't mine?" Silence. Complete, soul-crushing silence. When I finally looked over at her, her hand was frozen mid-air with the tea halfway to her mouth. Her expression drained of all color. "What?" she whispered. "You heard me." She blinked a few times, slowly lowering the mug to the table. I could see her breathing shift. Faster, uneven. "Ethan, I don't know what you're talking about. That must be... maybe the results got swapped or something?" I stood up. "Don't insult my intelligence." She opened her mouth, but no words came out, just a tiny, helpless sound. I stepped closer. My voice was ice. "Is she mine or not?" Tears welled up in her eyes. I never meant for this to happen," she whispered, shaking her head. "It was just once. We weren't fighting or anything, it was a stupid night. A stupid moment." "Who?" I demanded. "Tell me who." She hesitated. I raised my voice, not yelling, but forceful. "Tell me who the father is, Camille." That's when she finally broke. "Gavin," she said, barely audible. I felt like the floor cracked beneath me. The room spun. My vision tunneled. "Gavin Miller?" I asked, hoping maybe I'd misheard. She nodded slowly. My chest physically hurt. I had to sit down again, hands on my knees, trying to keep from vomiting. "You mean to tell me that my best friend, my college roommate, the man who stood next to me when we said our vows, he is the father of my daughter?" "I didn't know," she cried, falling to her knees in front of me. "I swear to you, Ethan, I thought she was yours. I hoped... No, I needed her to be yours. I was scared. I didn't want to ruin what we had." "You did ruin it." Tears were streaming down her face now, dripping onto her sweatshirt. "It was one night. One. It was stupid. I was drinking, I was lonely. We weren't even separated." I interrupted. We weren't fighting, so what the hell were you lonely about? She looked up at me, eyes bloodshot, voice cracking. I don't know. I was insecure. I felt old. Invisible. Gavin made me feel wanted for like 5 seconds. I didn't go looking for it, I swear. It just happened. I leaned back and exhaled, trying not to lose it. And you didn't think I deserved to know? You didn't think maybe I had a right to decide whether or not to raise someone else's child? I was going to tell you, she whispered. When? After college? After marriage? After the wedding? After death? She dropped her head into her hands. I told myself it didn't matter. You were already the father. You were already amazing with her. I stared at her, numb. You let me name her. You let me hold her in the delivery room while you cried. You let me believe she was mine for 16 years. You are her dad, she whispered. That hasn't changed. But you changed everything. I stood up and walked toward the hallway. She reached for my hand, sobbing now, her body trembling. On the floor. Ethan, please. Please don't walk away. I'll do anything. We can go to therapy. We can fix this. Don't let one mistake ruin our entire life. I turned back. One mistake? I repeated. That mistake has a name, a life, and a heartbeat. I've loved her with everything in me, and now every memory is tainted. You didn't just cheat on me, Camille. You built a life on that lie. She buried her face in the carpet. I never stopped loving you, she said in a muffled voice. Please, I'll give you everything. Just don't take our family away. I didn't respond. I walked into the guest room and locked the door behind me. That was the last night we ever slept under the same roof as husband and wife. The days that followed were a haze of pain and numbness. I moved into the guest room. I couldn't look Camille in the eye. Sienna heard us arguing that night. The next morning I found her crying on the porch, clutching her phone. She'd put the pieces together. I'm not your daughter, am I? I sat beside her, held her hand. You are my daughter. That will never change. She didn't say anything, just cried harder. Caleb was furious. At first, he thought I was the one who broke the family. When I told him the truth, he changed. Completely. His anger wasn't loud, it was cold. He stopped talking to Camille entirely. That's when things started to unravel. It's been 3 weeks since the truth came crashing down like a meteor through our lives. Camille packed a single suitcase and left the house the morning after our confrontation. No dramatic exit, no shouting match. Just silence. The kind that sticks to the walls like smoke. She moved in with her parents across town in Eugene. I haven't seen her since. The house feels colder without her, but strangely, also clearer. As if the air itself stopped lying. Sienna and Eli both chose to stay with me. I didn't ask them to, didn't push. They just stayed. No negotiations, no questions. The night Camille left, Sienna walked into the living room holding her stuffed fox. Yes, she still had it, even at 15, curled up next to me on the couch without saying a word. I wrapped my arm around her, and we sat there for almost 2 hours. No TV, no phones, just the ticking of the clock and her soft, broken breathing. Finally, she looked up and whispered, "Dad, do you still love me?" It felt like my heart broke again, but this time in a different way. I cupped her face in my hands. "Sienna, nothing will ever change that. You hear me? Ever. You're my daughter, period. I love you the same today as I did yesterday. Maybe even more." She started crying, quiet at first, then full-on sobs that shook her whole body. "I feel like I broke everything," she said. "I was just curious. I didn't mean to—" No, sweetheart. Don't say that," I interrupted firmly. "You didn't do anything wrong. You wanted to have fun. You were excited. You had no idea what was coming. None of this is on you." She nodded, but I could tell she didn't fully believe it. That kind of guilt doesn't leave a kid overnight. It settles into their bones. Eli, my 14-year-old son, handled it differently. He went quiet, not cold, just watchful. He was angry, but his anger wasn't explosive. It was controlled. I never want to see Mom ever again," he muttered one afternoon as we were unloading groceries. I froze. "Eli, don't say that." He didn't look at me. "Why not? It's true. She lied to you. Lied to us. I've been living with a fraud my whole life." I closed the trunk and turned to face him. "I get it, I really do. But she's still your mother." "She sure doesn't feel like it." He walked inside without another word. I gave them space. I tried to let them process things at their own pace. But the deeper issues started creeping in. I was starting to feel like I had failed them. Not because of the lie, but because I hadn't seen it coming. I'd raised them on values I thought Camille and I shared. Honesty, love, commitment. Now, my whole belief system felt like it had been rigged from the start. And worst of all, I started questioning every memory I had with Camille, the way she looked at me on our wedding day. Was it guilt? All those nights she told me I was the love of her life. Were they rehearsed? The first time I held Sienna, did she already know she wasn't mine? These thoughts spiraled. I barely ate. I'd lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, my chest aching with questions I'd never get real answers to. Camille, meanwhile, was trying. Texts, emails, voice messages, all full of desperation. "Please, Ethan, let's talk. I swear to you, there was never anyone else. Just that one mistake. I miss our family. I miss you." But all I heard in those messages was regret for getting caught, not remorse for the lie itself. Her sister, Clara, reached out. She was always like a sister to me, too. "She's not eating," Clara told me over coffee one afternoon. "She's barely functioning. She refuses therapy. She keeps saying she just wants to see you and the kids." "She should have thought about that 16 years ago," I said coldly. Clara sighed. "Look, I'm not defending her. What she did was awful. But she's breaking, Ethan. I don't want you to carry this hate around forever. It'll eat you alive." I didn't answer, because the truth was, part of me liked seeing Camille fall apart, and that scared me. It terrified me how much relief I felt knowing that she was suffering. I wanted her to feel what I felt. I wanted her to know what it meant to be broken. And that's when I realized I wasn't just grieving my marriage. I was grieving who I used to be, the man who believed in people, who trusted, who could look at his wife and see his whole world. That man died the night I opened that DNA test. Camille tried everything. She wrote me letters, long, handwritten ones about how our love could survive this, that she panicked back then, that she was scared I'd leave her if she told the truth, that Gavin meant nothing, that our marriage meant everything. I brought up therapy. She agreed. We went once. She cried the entire session, begged for forgiveness. I couldn't even look at her. The therapist asked me to speak. I said one thing. If our love was real, I wouldn't be sitting here wondering who my daughter's real father is. After that, I never went back. Her family was furious with her. Her parents, who'd always treated me like a son, were disgusted. Her sister told me Camille kept refusing food, refusing therapy, just cried and watched old family videos. I didn't feel sorry for her, not anymore. Sienna and Caleb chose to live with me. No court drama. They were old enough to decide. Camille tried to reach out. Texts, emails, and phone calls, all ignored. One afternoon, Sienna broke down. She was overcompensating, cooking dinner, cleaning, the house, texting me "I love you" every few hours. I sat her down and said, "You don't have to prove anything to me. I love you. You're mine. Always." She hugged me like her life depended on it. Caleb was quieter, but one night he came into my room and said, "I'm mad at Mom, but I'm really glad I still have you." That wrecked me. We all started therapy. Slowly, we found some peace. Camille, not so much. Months passed. Camille begged for a reconciliation. I told her I'd think about it, just to keep things civil. Then I served her the divorce papers at her sister's house. She collapsed, screamed, cried, clawed at the door as I left. Her sister called me later saying Camille had locked herself in the bathroom and wouldn't eat for days. I didn't go back. I couldn't, because I finally accepted the truth. She didn't regret what she did. She regretted being caught. Now, I live in a small 2-story house on the east side of Bend with my kids. It's nothing fancy, but it's filled with honesty and love. Sienna recently started writing poetry. She's turning her pain into art. Caleb joined the school soccer team and made some new friends. He still struggles, but he talks to me now. As for me, I'm healing. There's still pain. Still fear that one day Sienna might want to find her biological father and I'll fade into the background. But when I think of all the bedtime stories, scraped knees, science projects, and late-night talks, I know I'm her real dad. Camille? She's alone. No kids, no husband. Her family barely speaks to her. She ruined everything with one lie that lasted 16 years. Some betrayals you never come back from. What would you do if you found out your child wasn't biologically yours after 16 years? Would you forgive your spouse? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read them all. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more true stories with shocking twists. See you in the next one.